Welcome back to the Third Wheel Podcast.
At night.
Why are you laughing already, Darcy?
I don't know, because it's just the brightness of outside shining into my eyes while I'm drinking my coffee. Felt a little weird saying at night.
Don't listen to her. It's nighttime. We're not lying to our audience. We would
Yeah,
never.
it's the street light outside. That's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah. The neon blue street sign that says Third Wheel.
Yeah.
Well, Darcy, I'm glad you're here today. I know that it was a struggle to get up out of bed this late at night to, to get over here. Full
Don't
disclaimer.
look at me like that.
How would you like me to look at you?
Not like that. Just look out the window to
Okay.
the neon street lights.
Yeah, yes. Well, how do you like our new studio setup?
I like it. It's nice. It's a little chilly, but it's nice.
It is freezing in here. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. The thermometer says 51 degrees. Sorry about that. It's getting better, though. It is warming up. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I am holding in my hand a beverage of the alcoholic variety. I feel like what we're going to talk about today is probably going to cause me to reach for the bottle a little bit. But what do you think?
Maybe. Is it frozen?
It looks pretty cold.
You keep tilting it and nothing's like sloshing around.
I know. I just opened it too.
I don't even see any bubbles coming out. I think it's frozen, Caleb.
Let's see.
Okay. I guess not. It wasn't moving at all.
That was a good sound. I should have that to the board.
There you go.
Gawk. All right, Darcy, we're going to go back to our usually regularly scheduled programming. Here we go. We'll cut out where I said usually twice. All right. So for this background, it's been a while since we've done this, hasn't it been?
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I joined a marriage Facebook group in hopes to find other people to relate to and just, get some wisdom from older couples that have learned throughout their years on just different things. And I joined the group and realized that I very much so did not desire to receive any advice from them or follow what they say. And so on here, we read posts. A majority of the time, the post itself is not funny. It's more so the comments. So I would like to kind of give that preface before we read a post about deep, dark abuse. And people are like, why is this being brought up for laughs and giggles and all that?
Yep. I would say disclaimer, this podcast isn't usually for the faint of heart, the weak of stomach. If you had something super delicious from Taco Bell.
Bro, he keeps licking my foot. Get him out of here.
It's the dog, not me. Audience, don't listen to her.
He's got a cute face, though.
That's fair. Okay. Well, if you had something delicious from Taco Bell recently, I recommend you don't listen to the show because it's probably going to make something come back up. Goose, get out of here.
He's cute.
All right,
He's not bothering anyone.
You just said a second ago he's licking your foot.
Okay, yeah, when he licks my feet, he bothers me. But this isn't bothering me.
For like 10 whole minutes. All right, cool. You want to read the post, Darcy?
Sure.
Today's the day.
All right, so we have an anonymous participant, and it says, okay, ladies, tell me if I'm overreacting.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm a guy. Sorry, I can't speak, but probably.
So my husband was outside playing basketball with our boys. I walked inside, and I saw his phone light, and it was someone that he works with, so I was going to open it because his job is on call, so I was just making sure it wasn't them texting him to come back. So as I unlock his phone, I see all of these recently deleted pictures, and it was all naked girls.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking filthy, nasty pics. But I didn't get mad. I actually laughed, and I made a joke with him about it. But he didn't like the fact that I went through his phone, so he called me a nosy B-word, and I have no right going through his phone, and that's his business, and blah, blah. He really cut me down. How am I supposed to feel about that? Was I in the wrong?
Wow. That is not what I was expecting. And I have to say, it's anonymous?
Yeah.
Anon, you're way out of line. I think I'm in line with your husband on this one. No, I'm just kidding. No. Okay, that was pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. How do you feel, ladies? She asked for ladies' opinions, not white males' opinions.
So, first of all, obviously this is awful. I will say, going through comments, it did come up that it was just like porn stars that he had pictures of. It wasn't like between
I
coworkers
was
or
about to say.
friends or something like that.
My first question was like, was it a personal one?
Right.
Like
Yeah, no.
friend?
As far as what I was seeing, it wasn't anything personal, and that's why she laughed about it. Was because she was just like, oh, whatever, I guess. Now, of course, it like still made her uncomfortable. But here's my thing: is like, if you look through his phone, that's fine. Just say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just flat out say, I had a weird feeling, or what have you. But she's like talking about how she went to check a text and accidentally stumbled upon all these recently deleted pictures.
I was gonna say, when's the last time you? She made it sound like the phone was ringing,
Right.
like it was someone was calling. When's the last time you answered a call and
All of
your
a
photos
sudden,
popped up?
yeah,
you know,
right.
and it opened the trash folder,
Right.
And all like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's like she very obviously like went through his phone, and
Yeah.
like maybe she didn't like think about it until she saw somebody was calling.
Right.
Sure, like she was just sitting there, call ended, and then she's like, oh, well, while I'm here. But like, at least say that. At least admit it.
So let's back up a bit. You said you're okay with significant others going through phones. Can you elaborate on that for me?
I mean, like, I don't think it should be necessary.
Yeah.
If you feel the need to look through each other's phones, what are you doing? And why are you with them? But at the same time,
So both people doing it to each other, you would say there's a red flag there.
possibly, I could see if they were saying it's just for like accountability purposes. I could see how some people may feel that way as long as both people are on the same page and in agreement with that. Then
Right.
that's whatever. And like, I don't know. I'm not a go through their phone type of person, but if you're feeling suspicious about something and they're acting sketchy or what have you, it makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. So, okay, your biggest deal is just be honest about it. Be honest that you're
Right.
Snoopy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious though about her dilemma. So I'm with you. Like she's going through his phone, but she's playing it off like, I was just answering his work phone.
Right.
You know. Here's my thing too. Now this has nothing to do with what she asked me, but why is Homeboy so bad at covering that up? That's what I want. Like that's what I'm always
Right,
going
right.
to. Like he
I mean, maybe she doesn't usually check his phone.
maybe
Because like if you're never having your phone checked, why do you think to like be so careful to delete everything?
right. I guess so. I don't
Unless
know.
you're like paranoid that people are going to go through your phone. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've been over this. On her end, she's butthurt about it.
well, at first it seems like she wasn't even butthurt because she made a joke with him about it, and
Yeah.
then he called her like a nosy B word.
Yeah, it's a little far.
Yeah.
A nun. I mean, I would never do that to my girlfriend. I think that was. Why did he get so mad unless he was hiding something? Which she saw what he was hiding. So I'm sitting here thinking about it. He got really defensive really fast. Does that not
Right.
raise any red flags for you?
It definitely does. Like, I don't know. So if I were to go through Paul's phone and find stuff and then like make a joke about some of the stuff I found, like, I feel like his immediate reaction would be that like his feelings are hurt because I felt the need to look through it and I didn't trust him and I didn't talk to him or ask him any questions before going to the ultimate let me check your phone. But he's not going to get like defensive or aggressive or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just going to be like sad that I felt the need to do that.
Do you think that's reasonable, him getting sad?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think if my girlfriend went through my phone, I don't think I'd care.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be one thing if she started throwing stuff at me and said, let me see your phone, you man whore, you know what I mean? If she was like super aggressive, like trying to steal it from me, that'd be an issue. But
Right.
I don't think I'd be butthurt. I think maybe this says a lot about me, but I think I understand. I think I get it. I understand the constant, like, are they cheating? Are they not cheating?
Right.
I understand those thoughts because I have them. But I personally don't. I just feel like it would drive me crazy. Always thinking, always worrying. Let me see your phone. Let me go. Like it just that's so much energy, and I barely have enough energy to do the stuff I want to do for me. I don't have the energy to worry about what someone else is doing.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't like, I don't know. I guess like if Paul went through my phone, I'd understand. I'd be like, okay, like we've been together for a couple years now. There could be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that neither one of us have seen because we don't look through each other's phone.
Right. Yeah. And like
you know.
in theory, it's since y'all don't check each other's stuff, like in theory, it should be easy to be communicating with someone else and
Right,
not have,
right.
like, that's the type of thoughts that you can have. And like, I think it's a fair,
Right.
it's something you think about. It's like when you sit here like, oh, could I get away with this crime? Like, you're not going to do it, but you think, sometimes you think about that stuff.
Right,
like,
right.
oh, you're watching a documentary and you're like, oh my goodness, like, I wonder if I could have
Get
done
away
any
with
better. Yeah,
murder,
yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just a normal thought. So I think it's a normal thought to get insecure and to think like, I wonder if they're cheating. I personally, like I said, I don't think I'd take offense like Homeboy did, but I want to highlight, why do you think he got so defensive?
Because there's stuff in there he doesn't want her to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Do you think it's more than just those pictures? We're just speculating here, audience. We're not, we don't know these people.
If I were to get that reaction, then yes, I would suspect that there's more to it
Okay.
than just that.
See, her response, she's just like, am I being
She was
crazy?
being lighthearted. She was
Yeah.
being a lot better about it than anyone else would. And
yeah.
honestly, I would even say she's almost kind of wrong for being so like chill about it.
Yeah, I would actually agree with
Right.
you. Do you remember? Do you remember the post we were reading where the woman was like, "Is my husband already married to someone else?" And we were talking about that. Like, come on, lady. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, his reaction would actually cause me to raise some red flags. Now, it could be he's struggling with some kind of trauma from before, with someone who was going through his stuff, and even though he wasn't doing anything, like maybe it's pulling back old memories. Like maybe. But at the same time, you kind of have to check that stuff at the door with the person you're currently with,
If I get called a B word, I'm throwing things. Like if
Really,
somebody-
that's what'll do it for
Yeah.
you? Okay, because you've been told to take a nap. You've been told, is it your time of the month? And I don't remember you throwing anything. But the B word would do it, huh?
Well, mostly, okay, so it doesn't amongst like friends and stuff like that. And me
Yeah.
and Paul even used to make jokes using the B word with each other. And then one time he used it while he was angry and upset. And that was where I was like, yeah, you lost the privilege to use this word as a joke with me.
Oh,
And mostly because, not even because that word like upsets me so much, but because that's supposed to be the all-time hurt of any woman, call her a B word. That's like the ultimate disrespect.
Really?
Is how it's painted.
okay.
And so like, even though it doesn't feel that way to me, because it's painted that way and you just
Right.
used it, like that's what your intention was with using that word. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is getting shut down. In fact, he didn't even say it. He just like accidentally said "but," and then
You're like,
and
"That's
then
it?"
stopped himself. Yeah, literally.
And he
That's
lost
it
all
took.
rights to
Yep.
the word.
Yep, he did.
Okay. Women, I'm learning something today. Women take that word very seriously. But to me, and this is from the guy, I was thinking that wasn't the worst one. I think the C word is the worst one. But no.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have words in general affect me like that. It was more so like the
reasoning behind it.
reasoning behind it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the same logic of like, I don't want you to do the dishes. I want you to want to do the dishes. Right, though? Am I wrong?
That you are right on that one.
Yep. There's just some things as a man in a male dominated society that supports the patriarchy that I'll just never understand. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't think so. But take what I say out of context either way. Whatever.
I find it so funny, like the way things can be taken out of context.
I agree. Me too. I think, did you see that comment we got a long time ago? Actually, I did a short on it. And the comment I read and addressed. Did you watch that short? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so you saw the comment too as well, right? Mm-hmm. So what did you think about it? Like, we were talking about people saying everything's trauma. And then I forget the name of the commenter. They came in and they were like, can't you just like leave people alone? Can't we have emotions?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Exactly like that. Just feels like manipulative.
Thank you.
When you talk about an extreme
Yeah.
and say, hey, like this isn't cool, and somebody's like makes it sound as if you're saying anything revolving around that is bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you're like, hey, when you trip over your shoe and say you're traumatized for life because of it, that's not good or healthy. And then somebody's like, so it's wrong to trip on your shoe? And you're like, what the? Like, no, that's not. Are you even listening?
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. That was so funny to me.
It was hilarious.
And I felt like I had to just make a whole short on it because it was, and I brought up literally what you just said. Stop trying to manipulate me because it's not going to work.
Right.
You know? Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was funny. We don't have enough on our podcast, enough comments on ours to address like a whole episode like me and Shaps do on reading mean comments. You know what I mean? We only get like 1 or 2 in a blue moon.
Right.
Did you see the ones that was like, trash content? Did you see that one? It was one so I turned our first episode into shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and someone was like, trash content, And I was like, cool. I'm glad you watched,
It's funny.
So, I don't know. It was funny. Here's a good one we got here. Let's see. Ooh, let's see. Actually, yeah. So Homeboy said trash content, and then we got another one. Who gives a? None of this is interesting. But what do you think? Like, do you agree? None of that is interesting.
Right? Yeah, especially because we go like all over the place with stuff and talk about a lot of things. Especially whenever the
Actually, I would have to disagree with them. We talked about that story, like the person that was married to a guy who keeps saying, "Okay, I'll be back later," and then he goes off to his other wife. That's hilarious. Sorry, but whatever. I don't know. None of that stuff bugs me because, like, it's just people behind a keyboard. They would never say that to my face.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, but it's fun. I'm having fun with it. So
yeah.
I don't know. Does any of that stuff ever bug you? People getting online and commenting stuff like that?
No. I was literally explaining this to Faith the other day.
Yeah.
So she was talking to me about my dad.
Oh.
And she was like, I don't get how you still talk to him. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, me and my dad are cool. I love my dad.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, well, there was like that one time you dyed your hair black and it was like 2 shades darker than
the black you had already.
My hair's dark brown. And when I walked in, my dad was like, you look like, crap. Oh my gosh. Good thing you work from home and you don't have to go into the office looking all like that, and like just like really trashing on me for having my hair like 2 shades darker. Really trashing on me. And I was just sitting there and I was like, what the hell? Like, what did I do to you?
Was that traumatic, Darcy?
Yeah. No.
Pull the trauma card. Do it. It's fair.
It's so traumatizing. But like even my brother will trash on me all day long in a very brotherly way. And he stepped in and was like, I think it looks so good and da da da. I was like, oh God. Like, yeah, he definitely went over the top if Brian's complimenting me. And so, but it was something I laughed about, I was just like, I know who my dad is as a person.
Yeah.
He's worked through a lot of different things, and there's some things that he's still very much so working on.
Yeah.
And one of those is being a little more emotionally smart. And he's not. He's very like emotionally dumb sometimes, and he knows it, and we laugh about it together. And so I was explaining to Faith, like, dude, do you understand what I've been through?
Right.
And I was like, when I was in 9th grade, I had to drop out of high school, change my phone number, change every social media, thing, because I was getting so many death threats from the high school and people going there about my best friend that got paralyzed, and that like car accident wasn't my fault, but I was the driver. And everyone just blew up my phone. My phone wouldn't stop ringing because people were just talking about either I need to unalive myself, that they were going to unalive me, talking about don't show up to school, all of that kind of stuff. And so it's like, I looked at her, I was like, so do you think going through that at 15 or 16 years old? And so I was like, do you really think it gets to me when somebody doesn't like my hair color?
Oh yeah,
No.
that sounds what you just described to me. Like, oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And you're like, so when I change my hair color and someone gives me crap, do you think I care?
Yeah.
But here's the
and so that's
thing.
how I am on like just any comments. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care.
And that's the thing with people like that. It's just like they haven't been through anything. So just everything's like, yeah, how come you don't? He made fun of your hair. How come you still talk to him? Like,
Right.
oh, kiddo. You know what I mean?
Right.
But people who've been through some real stuff like that, just doesn't. Like, you're not going to care about that type of stuff.
Right.
Like, is it annoying? Sure. Do you take
Right.
note of it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it irritating? What do I wish that he would compliment my hair color even though, he doesn't like it? Or maybe just keep his comments to himself.
Yeah. I mean,
Because it's not that hard. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
ask.
yeah.
Like,
But-
sure.
But even when you were younger, you had the thing where he would be like, "Oh my gosh, you cut your hair. You look like a boy." You know,
Right.
that's not stuff you're supposed to say to women. You know what I
Right.
mean? But he just doesn't think that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we've had some interesting upbringing. So whenever I don't know, like I shared this a couple episodes ago. There are people that when they start crying over stuff, and it's hard for me to show empathy, and I get that struggle I have because to them it's a real thing. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, that's nothing. Like, I don't know. It's a little bit tougher to me to extend sympathy. But I know that I do recognize it as something I should probably work on. Is like when someone's going through something, to extend empathy. Because to them, their whole world's coming down. And that's, it's just how it is. So, I don't know.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. I find it interesting because I've met people that have been through serious trauma that get kind of like cold and heartless. And
Yeah.
then I've seen it do the opposite thing where it makes them like overly sensitive. I'm like, how did this happen? Like,
Oh,
when you go through hard things like that, you would think you like would learn how to not let things bother you because like of how filled your life is with hardships. I'm not giving the people that are like overly emotional crap for being overly emotional. You can't
Yeah.
really help which
Right.
way it shapes you.
yeah.
Like what's the saying where it's like the same water that softens the potato hardens the egg or something like that,
Yeah.
So it's like you have one or the other on the outcomes.
Right.
But I don't get how going through trauma can like soften you.
I know.
I'm like,
Well,
what?
that's the thing. It can, if you let it, I guess, you
Yeah.
could take all the wrong things away from something like that.
Yeah.
People have been through traumatic things. Like, I'm sorry, that's horrible. But like, in the end, you hear people say like, well, I'm glad I went through that because it made me the person I am today. Those are the people
Yeah.
that you can trust, the people that you can hang around. But the people that are like, I just need to stay away from that stuff. I need to get away from those people. I need to, you start hearing all the red flag stuff, and that starts raising flags in my head of like, okay, this person's crazy because they're taking all the wrong things away from stuff that's happened to them. And they're trying to make it everyone else's problem. I think
Yeah.
that's another thing too. It's just like I've been with people, you cannot have a regular conversation with them without them just trauma dumping on you.
Yeah.
Which leads to another comment we got. Did you? I sent you the one the other day. Did you like that one? I didn't like it, but I just thought it was funny. Let me pull that up real quick. I'll just read the screenshot I sent to you. Okay, this guy says Matt Horrocks 6517.
Okay, yeah. Read it though, because I forgot what he said.
Okay, so let me say in the short, I said, start your week off right. That's the short. I was like, I'm listing off all these really stupid scenarios. Are you snowed in this week? Are you having a bad day? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I look around, I was like, has CPS taken your kids? You know what I mean? And so I'd make that joke, and he goes, why would you say exactly that? Yeah, the government actually took my kids. I've not seen them for 7 years or heard from them.
And then my response was like, wow, you must be a really crappy dad then.
That's what I'm saying. CPS doesn't take your kids unless they mean business. Like they saw something horrible.
Right.
But Matt Horrocks, let me correct you there. Let me step in here, okay? I didn't say what you think I said. I said CVS. Okay? So before you read what I say wrong and take it all out of context, check your facts, dot your T's, okay? Cross your Q's, dot your I's before you come up in here with all these assumptions. If CVS took your kids, I don't even know what you did wrong.
Oh gosh. Anyways.
Am I wrong, Darcy?
Okay. Let's just go back to this.
What's wrong? Are you uncomfortable now?
CPS. I hate you. Okay.
See, I could have been a good comedian.
Could have been.
I have a failed comedian career, guys. But go back to that
You
episode
do.
where I addressed it. Why are you laughing so hard and agreeing?
Because your story popped in my head the other day when you were standing up there, but the guy before you was so bad that like everybody had already left, and so it's just like you, the like owner, and like some pizza delivery guy or something.
Hey, and the bartender.
And the bartender.
Okay, they had to be there. They were forced to suffer through my routine.
So
I'm so sorry, everybody at that club. They were subject to abuse. Yeah, I said abuse, trauma. They were subjected
that was
to
some
it.
real trauma
Yeah,
right there.
listening to my routine.
Oh god.
All right, you got.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. So that popped in my head. So that was why I was laughing.
Okay. Do we have comments on that post? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's read those comments.
Okay. So, let's see.
Our audience wanted trash content, so they're getting it. The guy said trash content. I read it as give us more trash content,
Okay.
and I'm here to oblige.
So Tina replied and said, "Don't snoop and you won't find anything. Pretty simple. You obviously did more than glance to find deleted pictures. Don't be a nosy bee."
Please tell me Anon either liked that post or responded to it.
She said, they did. They said, "Really? You talking about me or being funny? You don't know me. How dare you? I would hate to know what your marriage is like."
Boy, Anon, you sure showed Tina. Well, yeah, well,
You don't know me.
yeah. You probably suck at marriage too.
Oh gosh.
Okay, that was
Anyways,
pretty good.
That was
Okay. So Tina summed up what we were talking about.
kind of in a really rude way.
She's siding with her husband. Okay,
Well,
here's my problem.
okay. Yeah.
Here's my problem. No, actually, I don't have a problem. No, I mean, yeah, the nosy bee that was messed up. But Tina brought a good point. If you know,
I
if
don't
you-
like Tina's point, but go ahead.
I was gonna say if you're suspicious, just don't worry about it. just ignore it.
That's the problem. I have.
I figured.
She said, "Ignorance is bliss, baby."
I think Tina's trolling, but
Right.
I think people really think this way though. So is Tina wrong? No. Like if you just don't look, then there's nothing to worry about. It's only cheating if you're caught, right? Otherwise, you just passed your test without anyone knowing
Yeah,
that you didn't study.
Because Tina said that her marriage is great, and she doesn't feel the need to snoop, nor would she make an issue of something she claimed didn't bother her. I trust I'm not looking for a reason not to.
Okay. See, now she sounds reasonable. But I don't agree with if you just don't look, then there's no
Right,
issues.
right.
I'm with you. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, why? Why should I not look? If me looking is gonna have me find really big problems, then I don't want a part in that relationship.
Yeah. And there is a kernel of truth to like when you're searching, you're like, what am I going to find? There's like that fear of like, what if I find something? And that can deter somebody from looking in the first place.
Right.
You know, so I know what Tina's saying when you cut through the insults and the trolling, like, you know, yes, there's some degree of truth to that. Like if you just don't look at all, sure, you're not going to find anything, you know, sure, you miss all the shots you don't take. But so I don't know. I like what Tina said, but it is wrong.
Right.
So that's not how
The
it.
second I saw her say nosy bee,
Yeah.
I was like, oh God.
Let me just address this here from our second apology video. The contents we read is no way
Yeah.
affiliated with the Third Wheel at Night or any of its cast and crew members.
Oh no, I commented that.
Yeah,
I'm Tina.
really? That's how unoriginal of you. You should. That's the first time you've ever made an alias to go in. You've always just been Darcy.
Not always.
It's always got really. Don't expend on that. All right. Any other good comments in that one?
So Sadie said, I remember how I reacted when my partner went through my phone. It was much worse than how your husband reacted. Phones these days are very personal, and I do not agree with going through someone else's phone. If you are that mistrustful of them, you should just end the relationship. If you react that bad to your phone being gone through, you know, like, I can understand somebody not being okay with it, but to react the way she was like, I reacted way worse. Like, why?
Okay, you mind if I see that one?
Yeah,
Because I think I misunderstood it because I got different opinions now. Okay, no, I think Sadie's wrong.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the intrusive thoughts that the other person is cheating is a very normal thought process.
Right.
Like honestly, like your marriage is going very well. Things are great. Correct me if I'm wrong on air, but I mean, you still have those thoughts though, don't you? That like maybe something could happen. Like those thoughts come in even if you don't act on them. Do those intrusive thoughts not come in at some point? Maybe not every day.
Only when things are like sketchy. So when I went to Colorado for a week, I was really worried because neither one of us had really been away from each other for that long.
Yeah.
And then he just like kept not like calling me at night and different things like that. And he would wake up and say, hey, like, sorry, I'm really tired. I've been falling asleep early. And it's like, okay, no problem. And then we did find a night to like stay up on the phone all night because it did bother me. But whenever I got home, I noticed that there was a non-iPhone charger next to the bed. So I was like, hey.
Because women do be leaving their chargers everywhere.
Yeah. And well, I was like, both of us have iPhones. Why is there a non-iPhone charger plugged in on my side of the bed?
Okay. And then that's a question worth asking.
And then he was like, oh, the vape. You know, the vape has that type of plug. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess it does.
I suppose.
Yeah, right. And then, like, I go into the bathroom and I notice, like, there's an extra towel in there. And so I'm like, hey, like, who took a shower in here last? And he was like, probably you know, dummy. And I was like, I don't know. And then I found a hair clip that I knew wasn't mine.
Oh, snap.
Like, I knew 100% wasn't mine. So I come out and I'm like, Paul.
Explain this.
Yeah. And I was like, who did you have in my room while I was gone on my side of the bed? With like everything else you've been explaining everything off very well, but how do you explain this? And then he was like, didn't Jenica, your best friend, take a shower in our shower before you guys left for Colorado? And I went, oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. And
Yeah.
and I feel like I was very reasonable because
Right.
like there's a charger that's not either of ours. There's an extra towel. There's a clip that's not mine. I was gone an entire week.
Yeah.
He wasn't calling me every night. So, and like that made him really, really sad and it really hurt his feelings. And I understand like it hurt his feelings, but I was also like, baby, like you have to understand this looks suspicious.
Because let me say, most guys that cheat, they're not very sly about it.
Right.
They're very like that stuff that like, okay, whose charger is this? Whose towel is this? Okay, whose clip is this?
Right.
Like that's the type of stuff that like, guys aren't good at hiding that stuff.
Right.
Honestly, they're really not. Like the evidence is littered all over it's like it's so obvious that you'd swear they left it out for you to find.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
But like even in that, even with finding everything, immediately I was asking him.
yeah.
I was going to him. I wasn't like, let me see your phone. Let me look
Yeah,
through it.
you
I
didn't-
wasn't keeping it quiet and letting it stew on the inside to wait for him to fall asleep to look through his phone. Like
You didn't post it on the Facebook forum.
I didn't post it on a Facebook forum. Like I brought it up to him and like had his answers been really suspicious, maybe I would have been like, I want to see your phone.
Yeah.
If he couldn't answer why there was a different charger next to the bed, if he couldn't figure out why there was a clip in the,
If he was just like, I don't know where that clip came from.
Right, right.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Like, oh, are you sure that's not your charger? I would have been like,
Yeah.
I've been like looking, like showing him my phone and like trying to force plug it in. And
You
it's just
very
not
accurately and slowly and carefully explained your process, building up to possibly maybe if you had to a phone search.
working. Right.
This woman was like, huh, someone, his work is calling him. And then it just starts going through his phone.
Yeah.
Aha! she Googles the images herself and is like, why is this in your...
Screenshots them and deletes them.
Yeah. Why are these in your trash can? But you know what I mean?
I kind of like, that's so evil, but like that would be so funny to see their reaction if you just did all of that, like looked it up, screenshot and deleted, and you're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like he's genuinely confused.
Yeah.
And you're like, aha!
Yeah, I want to see the genuine confusion.
Just be like, what else are you hiding? And they just start confessing stuff.
Oh God.
Do you think that would work?
I mean, it works for some people. Like,
Yeah.
whenever you're like, I know what you did, and they're like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have gone with Lisa last night. And you're like, what the like? I meant you didn't change the toilet paper roll, and I was really upset because
But see, I'm the person that falls for that stuff. I'm really special. This one time I was at work and I got called into a meeting, and for some reason all the supervisors were so nice to close the door behind me and then form a nice circle around me and say, all right, tell us what you did. And I was like, let me tell you. And then I was like, I accidentally misplaced this guy's stamps. My bad. And they're like, no, that's not what we're talking about. I was like, oh, then I didn't do that. I'm really dumb when it comes to that. I really do fall for that.
Yeah.
So
I felt for that like a time or two in my program. So in my program, we had this thing called D level. And it stood for disciplinary level, which was when you were like constantly being monitored, constantly having like not any of the other like extras that anybody else got.
yeah.
And one of those extras was we weren't allowed any condiments, salt and pepper, sugar, things like that. So whenever they served us our food, we had to just eat it as it was. And so there was a bunch of us on it at the same time because we all did something together. And so one of the girls hid a salt shaker. And so as we'd pass by, we'd salt our food with it, even though we weren't supposed to. And it sounds so stupid and silly and funny, but they took stuff like that like very seriously in our program. Like very, very, very seriously. And so like if we had gotten caught, like we would have had like an extension on our disciplinary level. And so they brought us into the room, and we were actually getting off D level a few days or like a week early. But they were playing it as if we were in trouble to like scare us, but then be like, just kidding, surprise, you're off D level. And so we go in, and she's just mean mugging us. I'm so disappointed in you guys. Da 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 da. What do you think you were doing? You really thought you'd get away with it? And this girl Odessa just like deflates and goes, "Is this about the salt?" And she goes, "What? What salt?" And we were all like, "Nothing." And she was like, And so we were all sitting there like, what are we in trouble for? And she finally told us we were off early. And then like a couple weeks later, she was like, what was the thing about the salt? Like, I'm genuinely confused. What salt thing?
Yeah.
And so we had to confess about our hidden secret salt shaker that we had.
Yeah. I say you were what, 15, 16 at the time?
17.
17. Yeah. I think I was 22 when I did that thing. So I don't know. That stuff works for me. Like I believe it says gullible on the ceiling. So, I tend to fall for that type of stuff, sadly.
But yeah,
But alas.
it was funny. But yeah, no, like, so I get where people's problems can come from with like checking phones.
Yeah.
And I think if somebody's like, I need to check your phone every week, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if you're being constantly monitored, and what's it called when people are like overly watching you work? Like
Micromanaging?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you micromanage me in a relationship? Like
Because I get enough of that at work.
right.
I don't need to come home to the same thing.
Yeah.
No,
for real.
I completely get that. I've luckily never been in that type of relationship. I think I came close one time, but I got out of it like pretty quick. And, but yeah, I can spot those things because I've seen so many other people fall for it. Like I know people now that are in those types of relationships, and it's like, man, I don't know how they do it, but some people just put up with it and they go on about their day. But I can't. I could do the accusatory thing once every blue moon, but some people get that every day.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Yeah.
I really
Like
don't.
you run 5 minutes late because, like there was a car accident on the highway, and then, you get home to your girl and she's like, "Where were you?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. I know a guy who was on his way home and he was going to text his girlfriend. He's just asked her, "Are you home?" And she didn't answer because No. I remember. I'm sorry. He was at home and she got off work early to check on him. And so he asked, like, "Hey, are you on your way home?" And she didn't answer because she wanted to surprise him and catch him doing something. So she would come in and, just randomly do a check on him, check on her lunch break, get off an hour early, show up, sooner, and trying to pull the "honey, you're home early" type of thing, And I was like, I don't know how you live like that, dude. I really just don't. Like, I understand feeling insecure at certain points, but the constant mistrust, the constant
Right.
accusatory, like, this is an old friend of mine. And one time my sister was just sitting there, talking to him. And then his girlfriend comes up and she's just sitting there, like standing kind of over them watching as they're talking. And I'm like, dude, what are you? But it's like, it's ridiculous, But some people choose to be in those types of relationships. And it's crazy to me. It baffles me. It boggles my mind. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't really worry about it too much because I've made it, honestly, the truth comes out at
Right.
one point or another. And I've made it very clear with Paul, like, if you cheat on me, like, we're done.
Yeah.
That's my line. That's like one of my only boundaries. I mean, like we had that talk. I was like, you could kill somebody and I'd, hide the body and I wouldn't snitch,
Right.
like
Right.
I'd keep my mouth shut.
I would not, sadly.
Yeah, you've made that very clear.
In more than one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, alas.
And I'm like, this is honestly like my one thing.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get past this. And
Right.
so for me, I'm like, I don't worry about it because it's like, if it comes up, it's going to come. If it happens, it's going to come up. And if
Right.
it comes up, then like, I don't know. I'm just going to be out skis. But Paul's so weird because he was like, you could cheat on me 3 times and I still wouldn't leave you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you'd change your mind after that first time,
Right.
when you like literally can't look at them the same way, and all you picture is the other person's face when you're doing anything with them. And
He's never been cheated on, correct? Or he has?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I guess people that just haven't been through it, they just don't know how they would feel. So they
Right.
start making promises that they probably can't keep. Whereas on your end, you've been in that situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know how you feel, you know what you're worth, and you know that it's not worth it. So
Because like, I don't know, I just remember, I don't know why I stuttered so bad right there. I just but
that's more work for me. A-hole. Jerk.
I remember whenever I was in that relationship with that one guy and he had cheated on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like being so codependent that I was like, okay, I'm going to work on it. We're going to get through this. And like, even though I was still around and in a relationship with him, like the way things change and the way you feel about yourself and the questions that you have, like at the end of the day, I don't want to ask those questions.
Mm.
I don't want to know if, she was prettier than me. I don't want to know if you loved her. I don't want to know if, she came onto you first. I don't want to know the details. But if I were to stay with you, I'd need to know every single detail of it for me to be able to process it. And I don't care to know.
Right.
So I'd be out.
I don't think that's an unfair list of demands. I'm an advocate against, a list of demands in a relationship. But at that point, like, you don't have any cards to hold at that point. If you're the one that's cheating, you don't have a leg to stand on. You can't be making demands. You can't be setting your own boundaries. Like, you're basically at the mercy of the other person if they decide to stay or not. And if they decide to stay, here's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I read on Bill Burr's podcast, he read something where this guy he submitted a question to Bill Burr. And he's like, I cheated on my fiance, but now she doesn't trust me. She's going through my phone. He's like, what do I do? Like, I can't give up all this freedom and, I can't be this controlled. And Bill Burr, he's a jerk, but he leveled with him. He's like, dude, like you put yourself in this position. Like this is how it's going to be. Either you stay with her or you're out of here. Like, I mean, what's she supposed to do?
Right.
And that person that submitted that question he's like, we're in counseling and the counselor's on her side and blah. And he's like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is what you did to yourself. Like you did it. Like Bill Burr's a jerk and he wrote a book on cheating and it's hilarious. It's funny and like how to get away with it. But he's like,
oh my God.
Right. But it was a comedian. It was from
awful.
a comedian's point of view, and it's a joke. But at the same time, it's like here's what you can do. But he's not. But he leveled with that guy. He's like, you got caught. You made that decision, and now these are the consequences. So he's like, either you put your balls in her purse or you walk. And that's what he said.
Not even the ball in her court.
Nope.
Your balls in her purse.
Yep, that's what he said. So I'm like,
that's hilarious.
But he's right. You know, like I can't. If I cheated, I can't be like, okay, well, I can't let you do this and this and that. Like I have no cards, nothing.
Right.
I'm holding 2 jokers.
Right.
You know. So.
Yeah.
But is there any really? I had this question pop up as you were talking. Unless you had something else you want to add to that, what we were just talking about. Is any relationship worth saving at that point? Is there any relationship worth, if someone cheated, is it even worth trying to salvage that relationship?
People say they've done it.
Right.
I don't know how much I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess kind of like the way me and your friendship gets looked at whenever we're like, no, I promise it's not inappropriate. Neither one of us feel anything for each other.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not trying to do that to these married couples that have worked through it, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, there's nobody on planet Earth that you fully recovered from that and healed properly. And, you know, I don't know.
I see. You're an atheist when it comes to repairing a broken relationship like that. Okay.
Well, at least like, could y'all like find a way to make it work and be happy and stay together? Sure. But for the people that are like, man, this actually like made us trust each other more and like really like affirmed our relationship with each other, because when he cheated and he didn't like it as much as with me, he knew that I was the only person he wanted to be with. And when I found out and I felt the amount of betrayal, it really made me realize how deeply I loved him. I'm like, okay, cut the crap.
Yeah.
Cut the crap. There's no way that you're glad that, you know, there was cheating involved and that you really feel like that actually strengthened your relationship.
I think those are the same types of people that say like, yeah, if we have an open marriage, it'll help us love each other more.
Yeah.
Those are the same
Right.
people,
Right.
you know? And I'm with you. It's ridiculous. Now, like you said, can they repair it? Can they salvage some of it? Sure. But
I'd have to leave for like 3 months.
yeah, but it's like, it'll never be quite what it used to be. I don't think so.
In order for me to make that decision, I would genuinely have to leave for like 1 to 3 months. Because for me, if I make that decision to work on things with each other, it's just because I'm in fear of what my life would look like without him.
Yeah.
But if I had the chance to learn how to be functional without him and then came back to that decision, I think it would be a lot more genuine and authentic, and that I would actually mean it if I wanted to keep things going.
That time apart would
Yeah.
be very beneficial to you, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. But even then, do you think that whole time that you're, this is all hypothetical, guys. Obviously, this isn't like something
Right.
that happened. And I know Darcy's not always planning her escape from her marriage. That's not what we're getting to here. But I think it's a good question to ask. But my question to you is, do you think that let's hypothetically, those 3 months you took away from Paul, do you not picture yourself sitting there wondering, okay, is he using this time effectively like I am, or is he cheating again? Is he doing something right now? Like, do you think you could avoid those thoughts while you're processing for 3 months?
If I was processing for 3 months, that would be me trying to live without him.
Yeah. But are you not sitting here? Is he living without me? Is he moving on
No,
already? You don't think those
if
would
he
come
were
up?
to make a mess up like that and I were to leave for like a month, I feel like he'd be like in tears the whole time. Because he's really sensitive and he's very sweet. And like, obviously he would never cheat on me. But
Yeah.
if a slip up were to happen, if I were to leave for like a couple months, he wouldn't be touching anyone. And I feel like if I were to leave, that there would even be a possibility he wouldn't go after anyone in the future.
I think it really helps when you already, so someone like Paul, who already wasn't sleeping around before he met you, I think
Right.
that helps reinforce his character.
Yeah.
Because like you got those people that come in and like, okay, well, he's kind of a hoe right now, but when we get married, things will be better.
Right.
He's cheated on me 3 times, but once we're married, it'll get better.
Right.
So to those types of people, I'd be like, okay, well, you saw the red flags before you married the guy, and
Yeah.
you still went through with it. Vice versa, if his lifestyle is very reflective of who he is as a person before you get married, same thing. I think that does carry over as well. Though I think the reason you can sit here so confidently and talk about Paul in such a way where it's like, oh, but he wouldn't cheat. These are all hypotheticals, but
Right.
he wouldn't do that. I don't need to search his phone. I think you have a lot to go off of how he was before y'all married,
Yeah.
where he wasn't sleeping around, he wasn't doing all the stuff you're not supposed to do outside of marriage. So now that carries into a relationship where it's like, well, he's never been shady, he's never
Right.
been that type of person. So
Right.
why would that come up all of a sudden now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so it's like, I don't know. If Paul of all people were to cheat,
Yeah.
I'd either work on things with him or I'd just never go for anyone ever again. Cause like I'm not gonna find better than Paul. I'm not. Like
Right.
he is the best I'm ever gonna find for me.
Mhm.
And if he were to cheat,
There's no hope
there's
for
no
anyone.
hope. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel the same way. My girlfriend's so chill, and like
Yeah.
if we just don't work out, there's nothing after this.
Yeah.
I'm very atheist when it comes to that. I don't believe in a life after our relationship.
Right.
I don't
yeah.
think it exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would just be single.
I'm with you. I feel the same way. I just can't imagine anything after that.
Right.
After my current relationship, which hopefully goes to marriage. We'll see. Fingers crossed, guys.
No, if
Tee.
Paul like passed away,
Mm,
might feel a little differently.
right. Because hypothetically, there's other Pauls out there, right? Don't you mean? In theory, in the vast ocean,
So like,
in the vast sea
for example,
of fish.
it's if I have no kids, I could see myself staying single after Paul if Paul were to pass away
I
while
see.
I'm young.
You want money.
If what?
You want someone who's going to add to the income. Take note, guys.
But like if we had kids, I'd want my kids to have a father figure.
Mhm.
And so if Paul were to pass away, I'd almost feel pressured to find someone so that they can have someone to look up to as a dad.
Okay. But it wouldn't be for love. That's what you're telling me.
I've always said if Paul dies and I get remarried, I'm marrying for money,
Yeah.
not for love.
That's
I've
what I'm
had my
saying.
love.
Yeah.
I've had my great love, my one true love that
Yeah.
I'm going to find in this lifetime.
yeah.
Nothing's going to beat it.
Yep.
After this, I'm going for money.
Yep. Good deal. Good deal.
And I think that's fair.
I agree. Yeah, I've done it the right way.
Yeah.
We're past that now.
Right. Like, yeah.
I've had my happily ever after, but what about the after that?
Oh, gosh.
Am I wrong for saying that? Probably. Well, I think we're good for today, unless you got anything else you want to add to that.
Oh, not really. I mean, Anonymous came in and was just being like buckling down on the part that it wasn't intentional going through his phone.
Well, let's read that then.
Okay.
What was that?
So she was replying to Sadie, who said you should just end the relationship, and she said, but I should have added that I wasn't intentionally going through his phone. All I was doing was checking his message because he told me to. And when I swiped up to unlock it, those pics were the first thing that popped up. I'm not one to go through anyone's phones. I don't believe that.
I don't believe her either. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Yeah.
I think that, like, I don't know how you, like, unless he was in the trash folder and closed his phone right there.
Right.
Maybe.
But even then, don't you still have to like put your passcode in to like open your deleted folder?
No.
Or is that only for iPhone?
Well, actually, no, because you're right. Because if she was answering the phone or answering a text, it would have switched that app as it was opening.
Right.
So you shouldn't have seen anything else around it. I don't buy it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
So let's try that. Hold on. Let me try this. Let's debunk this right now. Okay. I'm going to go to my trash folder, which is squeaky clean, by the way. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is. All right. I'm in the trash folder. I'm going to close my phone. Go ahead and call me real quick. All right. Oh, look, who's calling me? Huh, this mysterious woman. Answering phone. It just answers the phone. Here it is. I'm looking right at you.
And then when it hangs up and you unlock your phone, what happens?
I'm going to hang up. Okay. Phone's hung up. All right, I'm going to unlock my phone. Here it is for all to see. Back to trash. Okay, maybe. So my trash folder opened up.
But still, like...
It's okay. I'm going to
the chances that happened, I don't believe.
That was a very controlled, isolated experiment. We had a hypothesis and we tested it out. Scientifically proven, it's possible. So we busted the myth. Okay, maybe. Should we give her the benefit of the doubt?
I guess we've not been giving her the benefit of the doubt this whole time, so let's just say we give her a benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
What does that change for you?
Really nothing other than... All right, she says she wasn't snooping, but I feel like in her original thing, it didn't line up that way.
Right.
It didn't line up the way we just proved. Like we're being a very controlled experiment type of situation here.
Right.
And her original prompt just made it sound like she was snooping.
Because like he was just like sitting next to her, like going through his recently deleted folder.
Right.
And like, you know what I mean? And then just closed his phone and forgot that he had that open and had her.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, like, I mean, it's in your trash bin, but you should empty your trash, buddy. Let me switch over to Anand's husband. Buddy, listen. Putting it just in the trash folder doesn't work, sir. You have to clear your trash.
Have you seen the apps where it's a calculator and it works as a fully functioning calculator, but if you put in a certain set of numbers, it opens like this secret folder?
Now that's
hidden
impressive.
photos? Yeah.
See, I'm not smart enough to do that kind of stuff.
I've had one of those before.
My dummy self would Google what app lets you hide stuff behind a calculator. You know what I mean? It would just be in the history. I'd be so bad at it. You know
I wonder
what I mean?
if I can find it. I might have to explain this to Paul whenever I get home on why I'm downloading this.
Yeah, let's give it a quick looky.
Ew.
What?
Looky.
Look, you ask me for a drinky drink all the time, so I don't hear it.
It's dranky drink.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Let's see. Calculator. Hide photos. Calculator Vault, I think is what it's called.
Calculator Vault. Read the app to me, please.
So, I think... Let's see.
But when it pops up, when you download it, does it say Calculator Vault?
It literally just pops up as a normal calculator.
That is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's making a lot of money off of that.
So, basically, it looks like your normal calculator that you would use. Or wait, hang on, that's enter passcode. It basically looks exactly like this would look, right?
Yeah.
And you can use it as a calculator, but let's see that this is like my passcode, and then I press the equals sign, and then it opens the vault of photos that are hidden, and it'll literally just look like your calculator app.
But again, I would mess that up too because my password would be boobs. And so whenever my girlfriend goes in to do it, she's like, see that? And then she'd press enter. And it would be over for me. It'd be over for your buddy Caleb here on the Third Wheel Podcast at night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get, or like, there's people where they're youth group leaders and the mom saw that her son was using the Bible app and like reading it all day and stuff like that. And so she was like curious to see what he was reading. Well, it turned out that he friended a girl through the Bible app and was messaging with her on there.
Brilliant. These kids nowadays, I'll tell you what. I would have walked up as a parent and been like, I'm so proud of my son. He's reading Leviticus. What a chump I am.
And so, oh God, don't have kids, Caleb. They're going to pull ones over your head
They're
so
gonna be,
easily.
yeah, they're gonna be doing all horrible drugs in their room. And I'll be like, what's that smell?
Yeah.
You should check your outlets. Make sure nothing in them. Thanks,
But-
Dad.
Yeah, it's so funny to me because it's like if you were that scared of getting caught or cared that much about getting caught, like you could find a way to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, it's just like, you know how we said like serial killers almost like want to get caught?
Yeah.
How they like leave stuff behind on purpose and they're proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm almost curious if that's the way it is for cheaters too.
Right.
Outside of like isolated like super big accidents where somebody just messed up.
Yeah.
But like people that like cheat and don't feel bad about it.
Mm.
I'm almost curious if they just want to get caught.
That is fair. And I think I would agree with you on that. Because don't you get bored eventually of not getting caught? Do you think? And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to spice it up. I'm going to leave a charger out, a second towel, and a hair clip. All right, guys, I think that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Darcy, for hopping on. I know you had to, put pants on and drive all the way over here. I really appreciate it. She looks like a hobo, but you can't tell because there's no video.
Greasy hair and slippers is what I'm wearing right now.
Well, guys.
And clothes.
Yes, and clothes. We are both fully clothed. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us. See you guys.
I almost accidentally said I love you guys.
I do love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.